You kids don't know the Messerschmitt Bf 109. The plane that dominated the skies struck fear into its enemies and became one of the most legendary fighters of all time. It wasn't just Germany's most successful aircraft, it was the most produced fighter in history. But what made it so deadly? And where did it fall short? Today, we uncover the full story of the Bf 109. Buckle up and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Designed by Willy Messerschmitt in the mid-1930s, the Bf 109 was built to push the boundaries of fighter design. At a time when biplanes still ruled the skies, the Bf 109 was revolutionary, one of the first all-metal monoplanes with an enclosed cockpit and retractable landing gear. It was designed for speed, firepower, and efficiency, setting new standards for air combat. Its heart was the Daimler-Benz DB601, later upgraded to the DB605, allowing the Bf 109 to reach speeds of over 380 miles per hour. Unlike many contemporary engines, the Daimler-Benz was fuel-injected, giving the 109 an advantage in negative G maneuvers where carbureted engines, like those in the Spitfire, would cut out. Armed with two 13mm MG-131 machine guns and either a 20mm or 30mm cannon firing through the propeller hub, it packed a devastating punch. The Bf 109 saw its first combat in the Spanish Civil War, where it proved vastly superior to the Soviet-built fighters used by the Republicans. Its performance in Spain cemented its reputation, and the Luftwaffe knew they had a winner. When Germany plunged into World War II, the Bf 109 was at the tip of the spear, dominating the skies over Poland, France, and the Low Countries. But while the Bf 109 was cutting edge, it wasn't perfect. Its narrow landing gear, designed to keep the wings thin and aerodynamic, made takeoffs and landings treacherous, leading to many accidents. The cockpit, while enclosed for improved aerodynamics, was cramped and had poor rearward visibility, a weakness that would become more apparent as air combat evolved. Despite these flaws, it remained the backbone of the Luftwaffe throughout the war, undergoing constant upgrades to keep pace with its enemies. Flying the Bf 109 was a challenge in itself. It was fast, but that speed came at a cost. The narrow-track landing gear made ground handling dangerous, and many pilots crashed simply trying to take off. Its cockpit was tight, with poor rear visibility. But once airborne, it became a predator. With an incredible climb rate and high roll rate, it could engage and disengage at will. Against Spitfires, pilots would use the boom and zoom tactic, diving from altitude, striking hard, and escaping before their opponents could react. However, it struggled at low speeds, and its armament varied, sometimes sacrificing rate of fire for sheer destructive power. The Bf 109 required an experienced hand. It had high wing loading, meaning it didn't turn as tightly as some of its adversaries, but its powerful engine made it an excellent energy fighter. Pilots who mastered energy management could outfight more maneuverable aircraft by staying fast and avoiding prolonged dogfights. However, the stiff controls at high speeds meant it took considerable strength to maneuver in combat. Another challenge was the restricted visibility. The frame design and thick canopy framing made checking 6 o'clock a constant struggle, leaving pilots vulnerable to surprise attacks. Many later versions attempted to improve this with the gallant hood, but the Bf 109 remained a fighter that demanded constant awareness and precision. Winter, 1943, the Eastern Front. Major Erich Hartmann, with over 100 victories to his name, was escorting bombers when he spotted a squadron of Soviet Yaks closing in. Outnumbered, he made a bold choice, diving straight through their formation, causing chaos and confusion. In seconds, he downed 2 aircraft before vanishing into the clouds. The Soviets never saw him coming. This was the kind of combat the Bf-109 thrived in: lightning-fast strikes, masterful piloting, and nerves of steel. Many Luftwaffe pilots owed their lives to this machine's ability to climb and escape when things got too dangerous. But as the war dragged on, even the greatest pilots couldn't outrun the overwhelming tide of Allied aircraft. By 1945, the Bf-109 was fighting a losing battle. Fuel shortages, lack of experienced pilots, and superior Allied aircraft made it clear that its time was coming to an end. Despite this, some nations, like Spain and Israel, continued to use modified versions into the 1950s. It became a Cold War relic, a symbol of a bygone era of piston-engine dogfighting. Despite its origins, some Bf-109s were even flown by post-war Israeli pilots in the War of Independence. Ironic, considering its Nazi roots. Today, only a handful of Bf-109s remain airworthy, their Merlin or Daimler-powered engines still roaring over air shows worldwide. Aviation enthusiasts restore them. Historians debate their place in air combat history, and pilots marvel at their unforgiving nature. Few aircraft have left such a mark on aviation history. The Bf-109 was more than just a fighter. It was a legend, flown by some of the greatest aces of all time. Love it or hate it, its impact on air combat is undeniable. If you enjoyed this deep dive into aviation history, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know what warbird you want to see next. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies.